Well, hello and welcome to this voice thread. I'm hoping this is going to be useful. My name's Dr. Paul Markham. This is Digital Marketing 550. And I got to tell you, I've really enjoyed teaching this course so far. I thought this might be just useful for you guys to actually understand what somebody like myself is kind of looking for out of this. First and foremost, I applaud everybody who's been involved in this course so far, because look, some people, it's kind of a brave new world. And here's what I want to tell you is that don't be frightened if this is like the technicalities of this course are very different for you. If you understand the 4 P's of marketing, you're almost, halfway there. And what I mean by that is digital marketing is just a different way to do marketing. Frankly, in the future, I think digital marketing will be marketing for the most part, at least. So look, when you're somebody like me that's looking at this course project, think about a couple of things. Like, think about yourself, okay? You open up the first page and you're going to have a cover sheet. Add a graphic to it. It's not hard. Go on the internet and find a graphic, whether it's a logo, something catchy, you name it. A lot of people have done an absolutely fabulous job at having some great backgrounds. I've purposely put this slide deck together as just blank, just to say that you can do whatever you like with it. Pretty simple stuff. You've got to have a name, course project slide deck. Well, whatever you want to call it, you can put it up there. What is the course name? Digital marketing. What's your name? What's the date? You're going to go, oh, that sounds pretty simple. A lot of people may miss those little nuances. Now, here's the overall thematic. Okay. Again, as I said, I purposely left this blank, apart from this one graphic on the side here. This is basically a graphic, right? I went into the internet and typed in thematic. So this came up. So I put it in there. The point is that us humans like graphics, okay? We don't dislike what you call copy or text. There's nothing wrong with that. But in these type of things here, think about someone like myself, a chief marketing officer, strategy guy. We don't have a lot of time, and most people don't have a lot of time. So reading hundreds and hundreds of words on every page, it's really tough, right? So, don't is the other thing. I've seen some people doing this course project, and they've literally gone to the template that's online, and I'm not kidding. They've typed in what's on the template into their template. They haven't basically done any research on the company or whatever. They've just actually added email marketing. Okay, what does that mean? It was just literally copy and paste off the other. So you actually have to, apply whatever the template is to whatever company it is you're actually trying to add a digital marketing strategy to. So just think about that. You don't just type in what's in the instruction template. Look, very few people have done that. Most people have done an impeccable job, and thank you for that. But I just thought this might be a quick little voice thread that might help people out. It's all about quality, not quantity. Somebody said, oh, I think this is going to take me 40 or 50 slides. I had to tell you, people are so jammed for time in 2017. All of us want to look at one chart if we could possibly do it and get an understanding of what's happening. So 20 slides should absolutely be plenty for this, not 40 or 50 or 60. If you can definitely do things that are a little different, and I'll show you as we go through here. Use things like 4 blockers. And what do I mean by a 4 blocker? Think about, and I'll show you in a moment, just one page that's in a quadrant. So there's a left, a right, a bottom left, and a bottom right. That's it. You can get a lot of stuff into that. The other thing too is descriptive is good when you're thinking about, I'm going to do an email marketing strategy. Okay, that's a good description. But being more analytical about it could be that I'm going to do a campaign-specific email marketing, or even more specific or more analytic is I'm going to do a dynamic email marketing campaign based on Google Alerts. Do you see what I mean? whenever you're writing stuff in here, it doesn't need to be difficult. But think about it that somebody like myself is reading it saying, well, they put a little bit of effort into this. This is awesome. The other thing is the background becomes your personal brand. A couple of the blogs out there, I got to tell you, that they're blogs that have started to, I can see the personal brand coming out in the people that are typing this in. Now you might say, well, this course isn't about personal branding. Well, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, if you do this course and you start to think, well, wait a minute, I can actually use this course for my own brand, aka get another job, get a promotion, whatever, right? You are an entity and you can be a personal brand, and you could be digital marketing for yourself. I know that's not what this project's about, but I'm just trying to say, start to bring out, you know, in what you are and what you're going to put into this and what you're going to be as a digital marketing person. You know, everybody's got uniqueness. You know, why do I get up in the morning? You know, why my personal brand is I've got this funny sort of accent. I've come from another country. I started out as a bass player. You know what I mean? It's part of the personal brand. I'm very big on graphics, very low on words, only because I know no one reads them. So think about that. You know, white space, it's not good. Always pop a little graphic in there. It'll take you seconds to do it. I've read a lot of these course projects so far. Great work, but they've got a big chunk of white space. It doesn't mean you have to have 45,000 graphics at all, but it means that it just looks a bit more professional, like this page that we're looking at here. So imagine this page, if it didn't have that graphic, it wouldn't be bad, but it wouldn't be the same. Your eye reads on what you call an F. So it reads from the top left across to the top right. Then it goes down vertical. And then it goes a little bit across in the middle, and then it goes down to the bottom. That's how your eyes work. This is why websites are built like they are. Think about headers and footers. Think about getting your formats right. And also, you know, at the bottom of a page, feel free. One of the ways you can have an impact is a takeaway. What I mean by that is, what is the key point of that slide? Unique selling point is, or something that you want to put in there. Colors, images, and succinctness. That's what's going to win at these sorts of things. Bullet points, but again, not just descriptive. You know, email marketing. That's not bad. Social media. That's not bad. What about if you just added something to it, like, well, I'm going to use a Hootsuite platform to have an integrated social media ecosystem. It's the same thing. It's just more, it sounds like you've actually done a little bit more work. And always think about digital marketing. No matter where you're writing this, think about some of the stuff you've learned, even the stuff you've learned with your blog. You can start thinking about that. Absolutely. Any digital marketing strategy should have a blog, should have lots of videos, should have essentially everything that you can think of you've learned so far in the course should be part of that plan. The next thing is, honestly, a picture paints 1,000 words, but pie charts, tables, schedules, all of those things can compact hundreds of words and hundreds of pieces of data into one simple chart or one pie chart. That's what's going to change this sort of a plan from something that is like, that's pretty good, to, wow, that's awesome. And again, this isn't meant to cause a lot of time and effort. In fact, you know, you could go online, you could find a good chart for you could go in annual reports of the companies you're doing, just do a snap. All you got to do is put that in, and you just got to say where the source came from. The other thing too is, whenever, you might hear me talking about this, whenever you say something, if you can support it with, you know, an article or some statistics, for someone like me, I just see me as the old Shark Tank guy, right? So I'm sitting here and I read these things, and somebody says blah 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 blah, and I think, yeah, that's a pretty good opinion. But if they say blah 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 blah, and then actually have a citation, I say, that sounds like a powerful argument. That's pretty interesting. So let's get on with this. What I'm going to show you here is a completely blank deck with some ideas around how you can do this to get to 20 slides. And I think most people have been doing an awesome job on this already, where what they've been doing is each week they've been basically loading up their slide deck. So really, I think most people are nearly done this project anyway. And for those that are in that place, this is just some ideas for you. And frankly, I know that this is new to people, so I'm being fairly lenient so far. So you always have an agenda, okay? And here's another one. Add a graphic here. I go and just find a question mark or something. It doesn't really matter what it is, but don't leave a white space. What are we going to have here? We're going to have executive summary and all of those subsets. And you can change however you want to do this agenda, but it's a good idea to have an agenda slide. That's a kind of a, you know, marketing management, MBA 101. Have some sort of an agenda slide. Major themes, you don't need that. You don't need exactly what I've got here. I'm just trying to say you might just want to have executive summary, situational analysis, marketing strategy, new product strategy, action plan. You don't have to have all those. I'm just trying to show you what's in this. So executive summary. This is something that people really mess up a lot. I don't mean in this class. I mean in the actual business world that I live in, they honestly really mess this up. If you look at someone like me, just people that read these things constantly, something's got to catch my attention. All right, otherwise I'm just going to miss it. What's going to be that catchy first sentence? You know, it doesn't matter what it is. It could even be a little bit, you know, sort of like humorous or something like that. Then what you do, the salient 3 points. I mean points. You don't have to put 400 words on each. Is it tough to be succinct? Oh yeah, it's tough, but it means you don't have to do a whole lot of work. You just got to think harder. That's all you got to do. Also, whenever you're doing any sort of a plan, you're presenting it in an executive summary, you've got to have some recommendations. And by the way, I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't have to be 3. These are just a bit of an idea. Executive summary is not counted as a slide. It's like an intro, basically. In other documents, they're called synopsis and things like that. But the point is, it's not actually counted in one of your slides. The next thing is solution summary snapshot. Slide 1. Do you see what this is? This is a 4-blocker. Okay, what this does, it just compresses a whole bunch of stuff. Someone like me might look at this and say, okay, I did actually key on whatever, you know, Tony or Janet said with that executive summary. It kind of made me interesting. So I might read to page 2. I'm not kidding. Honestly, if the executive summary doesn't get my attention, most often I just can't be bothered with it and I move on. We review, me and other guys review just dozens and dozens and dozens of business plans. And essentially, so look, what I'll do first up, I want to know what is unique about this darn thing. What is unique about the solution that you're talking about? What are the attributes and what's the key positioning? That could be 3 bullet points. It does not have to be 40 slides and, you know, 15,000 words. Make it simple. Tell me about the mix, okay? Just some high-level points. What is your product strategy? Okay, what is the pricing strategy? What's a promotional? What's a distribution? You know, distribution hypothetically could be tri-level distribution. 1 sentence. Okay, then I'm going to go, okay, got that. Promotional could be online, offline, you know, yeah, high-end niche or something, right? Pricing strategy could be subscription. Okay, again, that 1 word's going to satisfy me. You don't have to write 55,000 words in here. And you know, we get on to key marketing objectives. What exactly are you trying to get out of this? And who is the target audience? Frankly, look, I got to tell you, that is sort of like a sequential thing. Okay, so I like the front page. That looks pretty cool, you know. The second page is an agenda. It tells me what's in this. I think, okay, I'm going to look at the exec summary. I look at that and I think, that was an interesting little catchy front line there, you know. I'm going to go to the next page. And then I see this and I think, okay, got it. I know what this thing is. I know what the marketing mix is. I know what the objectives are and what the target is. I might just keep reading. Now, on any of these pages, you can put that key takeaway in little sort of at the bottom of the page, blah, 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 in quotation marks. Don't have to do this. I'm just giving you some thoughts here. So then you can actually have, again, graphics are everything. You can actually have a graphic of what you're talking about with your solution. You don't have to have 2 graphics. You don't have to have 1. You don't even have to have this slide. I'm saying you could fit into 40 slides what you're going to fit into here into one slide. A picture paints 1,000 words. Then we go on to the company slide. This is talking about a company slide. Everything when you talk about a company on the right-hand side here, you could consider putting in a little nice graphic with, I don't know, people walking up a staircase or something that's a theme of what you're doing. You could put in a graphic of, a boardroom or something. It's really going to come down to what you're trying to actually put forward here. So normally what you do with these company slides, you're going to start at the top. What sort of company is this? This is a publicly held company. Okay. This is a privately held company. Okay. The second point could be unique global management team. I don't know. The next one could go down, essentially tell you about what their particular strategy is. You sort of start at the top. What is the corporation? What is the organization? What is the actual product strategy? What is their distribution strategy? What are their partnerships? What are their alliances? Where are they? Are they a global company? Are they just playing in the United States? Are they just playing in the Midwest? So you can sort of put 10 bullet points down there pretty well. Within there too, obviously, you've got to get across, what is it about this company? Is it got something unique, a sustainable competitive advantage? Situational analysis. Now, here's where it's completely up to you. You can actually, again, I'm just trying to show you how to get this stuff into really simple 4-blockers is what we call them. Just so someone like me can look at this. What's the industry? Okay, blah, blah, blah. The size of it, the growth, the trends. Good. What's the marketing opportunity? That's a $2 billion opportunity. Right now, the market share is, blah, blah, blah. And it's highly profitable because of, I don't know, we're going after Neiman Marcus or we're going after a particular high-end Tesla, whatever. Okay, so very quickly I can look at that. Market-specific analysis. What it is, this is sort of going down like a funnel or a pipeline. We're actually looking at is the industry, that's the big picture. The marketing opportunities getting a little bit smaller. The market-specific analysis, you could add some charts or table here, and then the value chain analysis. Where in the value chain are you actually, what's your major impact? Where in that value chain? It could be anywhere along there. This is not a difficult thing to fill out. Again, in here, your situational analysis, how are you going to position in this particular, environment, situation? What is the customer segmentation? I've seen a lot of this stuff written and it's great, but you could do a lot of this. You could put it into an Excel chart. You could put it straight in there, and my gosh, it takes you 2 minutes, but it changes the whole thing. Look at the life cycle diagram. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Are you in the early adopter phase? Is this something in a growth phase? Are these innovators? Are you actually trying to cross the chasm into mainstream alley? Again, these are things that honestly you can do a search on the internet. I could almost fill this out while we're doing this, and that doesn't mean you're going to have the same knowledge as me. I don't mean that, but it's going to be the effort for me to see where you are in a little, like an arrow on the life cycle. Where are you in there? And that's just something you could put on here. Competitor analysis. This is, again, a simple way to go. Who is a potential competitor? These are the ones you really should care about. In other words, think outside the box. Maybe it's Amazon, maybe it's Alibaba. I don't know. I don't know your particular company, but just jot them down. And I'm going to look at that and go, wow, it's really interesting. Who are the direct competitors? And you maybe want to just put one point about what is, what's so great about those competitors. A broad segment competitor, meaning, again, you see how we're getting a little bit like the top could be, the direct competitor could be in the grocery market. The broad segment competitor could be in the organic grocery market. And then the specific competitor could be talking about organic, but specialty retail or something like that. It's sort of just, it's like one is a big picture on what you care about, the potential that could be coming in. The next is going down to who the direct competitors are today, who the broad segment competitors are, and then into the specific competitors. That's sort of what this is about. It doesn't have to be exactly what I'm putting here. It's almost trying to give you a thought process of how do I put all this stuff together in a more intelligent way. People always are looking for big picture, smaller picture, laser focus. So same thing with here. You could actually go in, and again, these are things that are all over the internet. It's not that hard to do. You could put what we call a competitor XY graph. All it means is, you know, you have an X-axis and a Y-axis, and the X-axis could be price, and the Y-axis could be something else, attractiveness, and where are you compared to the other guys on that? Again, it's more the effort of trying to do these things than you know, at this point, having exact data. Would I like the exact data? Sure, but it's going to be, you know, a timing thing at this point. Competitor pie chart. Okay, if you can find market share, right? In other words, in a heartbeat, someone like me can look at this and say, hey, so competitor A has 20%, somebody else has got 15%. Then there's 27 competitors that have got X%, and what we're going after is 5%. There's a gap in the market. Again, one chart can basically replace all of these things here in the before. But you can see we're only up to slide 7, right? To get to 20 slides, you know, you could actually do this in less than 20 slides, absolutely less. SWOT. This is one that people often mess up. That's what I can tell you. Strengths and weaknesses are internal to the company, okay? The strength could be corporate culture. Equally, the weakness could be corporate culture. The strength could be the organizational structure, or the weakness could be organizational structure. Strength could be the company has a bunch of patents, or the weakness could be the company has no patents, right? Do you see? That's sort of, it could be one or the other. Strength could be, you know, Coca-Cola, tangible brand, right? Brand equity, brand awareness, right? So that's going to be a huge strength. When you look at opportunities and threats, these are external to the company. So the opportunity could be global growth. The opportunity could be segment growth. The opportunity could be government. The opportunity could be Florida, you know, could be anything that's external to the company. The threat could be, you know, large companies acquiring other companies in this space, becoming more competitive. That's what this is about. Government regulations change. That's a threat that could change what we're doing. We could be marketing in somewhere where there's a war about to start, right? And again, these are things economic. It's basically the concept of pestle, or any of the, you know, political, economic, environment, sociological, technical, that sort of stuff. High-level marketing strategy. Here's the 4 Ps, guys. 4 Ps. What's the product? A few points on that. What's the pricing? How are you going to go to market? How are you going to do your promotional strategy? Now remember, when you're doing this, this is looking at this from the standard 4 Ps. So this is thinking about how you're actually going to go to market. When I've got 5 points here, it doesn't have to be 5. I'm just trying to say 5 bullets for someone like me is far better than 400 words trying to read it all on the screen, or 12 slides to get the same point across. Succinct, succinct, succinct. Placement is just distribution, fulfillment. You've read a lot about that. Okay, so this is really just looking at this. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. You do exactly the same thing when you go to the digital marketing. What is your internet business model? Okay, how are you actually going to do this? What is the business model? There's a lot of good work being done on that. What's the value proposition of this particular, you know, digital marketing strategy? How are you going to revenue? How are you going to generate revenue? It's kind of a big deal. Look, at this point, the fact is, put some thought into it. I understand people may not know the whole internet models well enough. There's a whole different model out there that we all know about. We may not know how it works. It's called value-based exchange. So if you look at something like Uber or Airbnb, the money is actually made on the value exchange. Okay, it's like, I go to Airbnb, I go and stay in a place in Vancouver. This is a true story. I'm actually paying, but the person that owns Airbnb makes the money on the actual exchange of the money, right? Between me and the person that owns the Airbnb. Same thing with Uber, the whole same thing. Maybe that's the way you're going to generate revenue. I don't know. Is a subscription strategy? How are you actually going to do it? So, in other words, you've got to look at the business model and then how you're going to actually generate revenue. Digital strategies. What types of digital strategies you're going to have? This is a general context. Social media, are you going to have a blog? Is it going to be landing pages on websites that are driven by campaigns? That sort of stuff. Just got to think about how you're thinking. Future digital marketing snapshot. Think about, this is where it is today. What are you going to do tomorrow? Moving on, CRM. Okay, customer relationship management strategies. What you're going to start seeing here, guys, is number one problem in digital marketing used to be getting found. Right? How do you get your head up, like a meerkat? How are you going to be found in this absolutely ridiculously crowded environment called the internet? Well, what's changed, hopefully you're picking up a little bit about this, is the concept of artificial intelligence. So what does that mean? I've sort of loved the Minority Report and the Matrix and all these shows that talk about artificial intelligence in the future. If you think about that particular Minority Report, when Tom Cruise walks into a shopping mall, it reads his retinal scan and then starts to understand who he is, and then starts to market all the actual walls he's walking past, start to market to him for his demographic and probably in the future for his genetic structure. But nonetheless, these days the CRMs are so important because getting a customer, the customer acquisition costs and all that stuff is ultimately important for sure. But then once you've got a customer, you may not know it, but even as we speak today, Google, Facebook, all these companies, they are spending many, 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 many billions of dollars trying to better understand who you are so they can more effectively market to you because they know who you are now. So a little bit of a twist, the CRM is really important, no doubt, to be able to know how to actually market to people, or customer relationship management. Better way to look at this. These are all big words for, if you go into your phone, I'm sure you've all got a contact list. That's kind of what this is, but it's a whole lot smarter. Okay, so all of a sudden, a customer relationship management or CRM strategies, it's really starting to look at how you're going to actually work with this data and what you're going to do with it, and how you're going to then turn this data, these contacts, into basically targeted, customer segmented, marketing strategies, digital marketing strategies. You've got to start thinking about too, with some of this stuff, people don't realize, right? They go and do an email marketing campaign. You've got to have things like opt-out, unsubscribe. If you don't have that, you can't do that. That's a regulatory issue. So the point is with this, just start to think about a CRM is more than just, these things are golden. That's the only other word that I can say. What sort of platform are you going to use? You're going to use MailChimp? Are you going to use, you might hear on the TV something called Constant Contact. What are you going to do? Maybe you're going to look at, other companies out there, brand new companies out of Palo Alto, Silicon Valley. I just don't know. The point is, CRM strategy, you could have a nice little graphic on the right, and you could have basically a little takeaway at the bottom. New product strategy. Again, same old thing. What is the new product you're bringing to market? It's a mini Tesla, or it depends on, I've seen all different sorts of ideas that people are coming out with. Keep it simple. Keep it the same type of thing. Again, I'm not saying it's got to be 5 bullet points. I'm just saying, don't, for your own good, not me. You're not going to get graded down if you write 400 words on everything. I'm just saying it's going to take more of your time. Be really smart about what are the words. What is it you're trying to put forward here? So as you can see, we're already up to slide 14. And, I think a lot of people, don't go back and rewrite your whole pitch if you've already done most of it. I'm just trying to give you the confidence that you've probably done a lot more than you already think. What's the action plan going forward? What is going to change? The other thing about this one, so that's an action plan for more the broad marketing strategy, then action plan, and you may want to cut this down, maybe cut a slide out here. Think about the digital marketing. What's the target market? What's the customer segmentation? Who are you going after? What's the demographics? What's the psychographics, right? What's your offline, online integration? how are you actually thinking about this? CRM, is it going to be integrated or not? And if it is integrated, you're then going to start thinking about artificial intelligence. How are you going to position your customer service? This is like everything as far as I'm concerned. Being someone who sells or markets digital marketing, but also lives within digital marketing, customer service can be the differentiator. Now, you look at companies like Zappos. I don't know if anyone even knows what that is. My wife loves it because it's all about shoes, right? So what she really loved about it was that the customer service was just absolutely impeccable. And frankly, that has become, let's just say, I don't know these days, but in the day, Zappos was sort of known for that. That, you know, the idea that you could actually get these shoes, send them back if they don't fit and all that, it's huge. So think about that in whatever you're doing. Let's think about, slide 16. Website strategy. Okay, you're just going to have a website. Are you going to have a website embedded with customer testimonial videos? Are you going to have a website that has multiple what you call landing pages? If you don't know what that is, it means that you can have a campaign that you're running on the internet, and it actually has like I'm running one that has it's like a separate website that you land on, but you actually market to that specific thing, but it's linked to your actual main website. And you'll see this a lot where you'll think, oh my God, there's like 50 websites for this one company. Yeah, it's all about, if you think about fishing, it's like throwing a net out, literally, where all of a sudden you're going to get bigger rank on, RankBrain, all these other strategies for SEO. The idea is, what is your website strategy? Now let's sort of flip it the other way. Just say that you're selling a super high involvement product. For anyone that knows what marketing is, that's basically potato crisps or potato chips or Lay's, those sort of little, snacks that you buy. They're low involvement. People don't have to involve themselves a lot to buy. Are we going to buy Doritos or are we going to buy Lay's? That's about how much involvement. So with those types of things, yes, a lot of these campaigns and things work pretty well. Now, however, if I'm going to go out and buy a $5 million house, that's a high involvement proposition. So if I'm going to have a website, I'm probably going to have a super high-end, but fairly simple website, that what I really want to do is not try and sell you anything on the website. I might have a video webcam of particular high-end houses and things like that if I'm a high-end realtor. What I really want to do, I want to speak to you. I want to get in contact with you. So those sorts of things are a little bit harder to do a campaign strategy on. What is your social media strategy? I don't know. Could be 100% Twitter. Not sure I'd do that. Or you might be using a multiplex platform like Hootsuite or something like that, where you actually, for instance, you do a particular thing on a particular day. Okay, what's your editorial calendar? Are you going to have one? Or is it going to be sporadic? I mean, these are all things that, what is your strategy? Your strategy could be that you're going to, have a Facebook page where you're going to have give away a free ticket to your thing. And if people get a free ticket, they come and they might then get the ability to use that free ticket to buy other stuff. What is your strategy around social media? Maybe you're going to set up social circles. You probably heard about this, where people started marketing to particular subgroups within social media, whether it be Facebook, etc. What are you doing about Instagram? Are you on Pinterest? Is it even relevant to what you're doing? I don't know. I'm just sort of giving you some ideas there. What is your customer acquisition strategy? And in here, I mean, what people are starting to think about is not so much the good old days where they just went out there and sort of went fishing. Now, think about it like that. We know where all the fish are, right? This is what artificial intelligence is. If you haven't witnessed this already, it's kind of freaky now. When I go to Google and I type something in, and it just sort of, it started to know what I'm thinking, really. And I don't know whether they've linked Alexa to Google. The point is, it's starting to get to know who I am. So it's not just about customer acquisition. You've got to sort of talk about here, customer acquisition could be a very low level approach where you're just going after particular people, and there's nothing wrong with that. It could be, 0.5 here could be implement, integration to RankBrain or some other type of artificial intelligence engine. I just don't know. This is what you've got to come up with. Distribution and fulfillment strategy. How are you going to do this, right? So I'm working on a job the other day, and what we had to do, we had to come up with a process of how we were going to integrate cryptocurrency with the Amazon fulfillment, right? And that's going to be the distribution strategy for that particular one. I would have other bullet points on that as well. Point is, think about how little we've actually done on this particular voice thread. Action plan charts, graphics. In here, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but you can have something in here. You can have a screenshot of your blog, a screenshot of Twitter, a screenshot of Instagram. You see what I mean? Graphics are very important in marketing plans like this. And action plan, last one. What are you thinking of doing in Jan, Feb, March, April, May, so on? Again, this is all fictitious, guys. This is not meant to be, something that I'm going to go, I'm not sure I would have done that in June. Maybe you do some stuff in June, July, and August, like, Christmas in July campaign. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to fill all these boxes up. Just to give you an idea, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that could be social media, it could be all different attributes or goals and objectives of your marketing strategy. And in here, we're nearly finished. How are you going to be checking this stuff out? Are you going to be using some sort of performance management on your CRM? I think so. Are you going to be using some sort of artificial intelligence? Customer lifecycle management. You should be tracking this stuff. Like why is it that we get 10 people coming back to our website and 2 of them buy another thing from us? Are we actually, like, Amazon's got some amazing stuff, because I sell stuff on Amazon, and we buy it from Alibaba and sell it on Amazon. So that's kind of an interesting thing to think about as well, because you can buy stuff cheaper on Alibaba and actually resell it on rebrand it and resell it on Amazon. There's just a thought for you. But anyway, when you actually go in there, and you must have experienced this, you can set it up in what you call bundles. Okay, so if I go onto Amazon and I buy a fishing rod, absolutely, the seller has probably set up the thing that will come back to me and say, hey, Paul, see you bought a fishing rod. Now, do you want a fishing hat? I don't want a fishing rod, but just say I did. That's a thought process of, how you're going to work with these customers and work across this whole idea of life cycle, right? Yeah. Think about it. What is the return on investment? And then again, add a graphic. You don't have to add any of these graphics. You can leave it blank. Think about yourself reading this. Just say you're me. What are you going to think is cool? The last one is key takeaways, the whole thing, right? You're leaving this, slide 20. What are the key takeaways, Paul? What is it that you should really remember about this? It could be something that is just going to stick in your head. What I would say is, these are the sorts of things that you are recommending. These are the things that would end up back in the start of the executive summary. These are the key points and recommendations for you as a digital marketing expert that you're going to put forward. Reference list. Okay, so have your references in here. Gee, you know what? Star points are for people that actually find an article, on digital marketing, or find an article on social media, or find an article on artificial intelligence. You don't have to read the 300-page article. You can even type it into Google. It finds you. Just type it in. You'll find an article. Put a citation in here, proper citation. It doesn't mean you can't put websites and things in here. Absolutely. But again, if somebody just copies and pastes a bunch of stuff in here out of Wikipedia, which is not a good reference, it doesn't mean it's a bad piece of work. But again, it just depends on how well you want to do in this. Continued, same thing again. And then you've got appendices, and really thank you. You're always at the end of a pitch. You thank you, put your name, your email address, maybe your contact details. And folks, that is it. I'll put this stuff up on what do you call it? On Canvas. I have asked everybody if anyone wants a one-on-one. I got to be frank, most people are doing very, very nicely here, and they probably don't need me to do it. This is just to maybe take some of the angst out of anybody out there going, oh my God, how am I going to do this thing? Oh boy, what's going to happen? So hopefully this is helpful. I'll put both these things up on the website, and look, more than anything, just have fun. And I got a couple of emails from people the other day. I was so thrilled. I said, we're really having a lot of fun in this course. That's what this course is about. It's about fun. And I appreciate everyone's work. Just try and think harder rather than just typing stuff out. This isn't about typing a whole bunch of stuff out and spending like hundreds and hundreds of hours. It's about just thinking a little bit and then look and feel like something. If you read it, are you going to buy into whatever you're trying to sell? That's what this is about. Thank you very much.